This is Praios and I'm a professional gambler. Today we will look into another video from Galfond. This will be about extravagant poker live purchases. What instantaneous comes to mind for myself is fast, expensive cars or expensive watches, whereby the fast, expensive cars are usually a very bad investment. But yeah, if you buy a worthy watch that collectors like, you often even make money getting such a watch. For example, if you buy a Rolex or a Patek Philippe and get them for the announced price, I mean, it's very hard and it's long waiting lists and stuff, and you have to buy a lot of other rubbish in order to get one of these highly recommended watches. But usually, if you get one for the price which is announced by Rolex or by Patek Philippe, then you can instantaneously sell it on the secondary market for like double the price. So this is actually an investment and not extravagant poker live purchases. But yeah. Anyways, let's see what Phil Galfond bought.
All right, Phil, it's another top 5 list that you've never heard before. I'm just going to spring it on you, see what you say. It's top 5 poker life extravagant purchases.
Okay, so cool. The like big purchases or kind of silly purchases I made. I mean, the most obvious that everybody's
I would interpret it as silly purchases.
going to expect me to say is that I bought a slide in 2008. I moved to New York and bought a condo, and it was actually 2 separate ones on top of each other. Because anyways, I liked the building. They didn't have a unit as big as I wanted. So I bought 2, I connected them. When I met with the architect, in addition to putting stairs to connect the 2, I put a stainless steel slide that connected the top floor to the bottom floor. And actually it was the first residential slide in New York City, I learned, after they filed the whatever.
Oh, I was
with the city.
going to search for it, but where it is. Wonder how much he paid for this. It definitely looks quite stupid. Could also use this instead of having a big hole in the ceiling, I assume.
But there have been some since, and I've definitely seen other slides in houses. I mean, I just thought it was funny.
How much did you pay for it, dude?
And I don't regret it by any means. I didn't use it very often. It was not. I didn't get my money's worth in terms of use because it was actually really fast. And so you had to be kind of ready for an athletic landing or you'd fall.
So you need crash pads on the bottom of it.
So, you wake up in the morning upstairs. My bedroom was upstairs and, I wasn't ready to slide down and land in the morning. And then most times the stairs are easier. So I didn't use it that much, but I still enjoyed having it. No regrets there. Another silly purchase or silly sounding purchase that comes to mind very.
I think he has the stupidest one was already at the beginning, because that's stupid. I also don't think that this makes the apartment more worthy. The opposite might be the truth. I mean, if some conservative guy goes there and sees it, he's like, oh God, I don't want to have a slide in my living room. So he would have to let it remove, and this would be additional cost for him. So I guess this is not making the property worth more, but less in the eyes of many investors.
Quickly is sitting right in front of me. So these are like cups. Some friends of ours took us on a vacation with like a few couples to Hawaii, and we were staying in this incredible house that is actually the home of another poker player. I don't need to name names, but there were these cups there that we loved, and spoiler alert, they're these. They're titanium, and they, like, you put a drink in here and it stays cold for a really long time. They feel really good. I don't know, things taste better out of them. And so
I think it's not that silly to buy these. I mean, he didn't mention the price yet. Would be interesting if he would mention them too.
we were all talking about how much we love the cups. And the couple that took us there said, oh yeah, we've been here once before. I tried to buy these. You can't buy them. They're made by this one place in Japan. This is their website. You can't contact them. You can't order them online. You just can't buy them. So I was determined to try to find a way. I actually hired through one of those like virtual assistant apps. I got a virtual assistant and I was just like, see if you can help me buy these cups. And so they spent a bunch of hours trying to see, and they had to have somebody who could they found somebody who could type like in Japanese.
Sounds expensive already.
An email with them, and I think maybe even call them. And basically, yeah, eventually we figured out how to order, and I actually ordered for the couple that brought us as well as a thank you. But they're like, I don't know, they're in somewhere like $200, a little more than $200 a cup.
Ooh.
Which is, but we'll have them.
Plus the hours of the personal assistant and translator and things. $200 a cup. I mean, it's quite spewy, I would say. $200 for a cup.
Forever, right? That's what you'd think. They're indestructible, and I don't know. Water tastes better, so I don't regret it. I still think it's a little silly, but I don't regret it. I like these cups a lot.
Definitely spewy, but yeah, he's super rich.
Going back to the number one, which was the slide, kind of glossed over the first part of that purchase, which is 2 condos in New York City. It was funny because at that point, I'd been successful in poker.
I mean, New York City is insanely expensive, but maybe back then it was cheaper and he probably made money. Let's see what he says.
But I had really never spent any money because before moving to New York, I lived in Madison, Wisconsin, where I went to college, and just lived generally the life of a college kid, a little bit different. Like, I had a nice TV. The only thing I purchased a big TV, and like I would order food more than most of my friends would.
Yeah, that's like the life I used to live for a long time. So just eat out more, order more food, but don't make any or many stupid purchases. I mean, I have big screens for the TV and for my computer, even at least 2 for my computers. But yeah, I guess that's not silly, as I also need it for work. I mean, you need it now to do Twitch and YouTube, and also needed it back then to poker. I feel like, yeah, different things on the 2 monitors. Screens. I think monitor is not the word. Screen.
Because I just would order food. But other than that, I wasn't. I mean, and these are like, $15. Like, I was ordering $20 meals, not going crazy. But otherwise, I just lived a regular kind of lifestyle. And so going from that, the first real big purchase, other than a TV, was a really big purchase. I don't want to say I regret it, because I don't regret it, but it was a mistake. So I spent, I think it was just over $3 million for both. And this was at the worst time possible, because, I talked to a mortgage broker and was talking about, I could put, 20% down, and, still have my bankroll to play poker with. But what ended up happening is this was like the big crash, like the mortgage crisis, where, a bunch of people were defaulting on their loans and banks were in a lot of trouble. And so basically, like, the banks were all like, okay, we're not going to loan you money anymore. So what ended up happening is I put a 10% deposit down on these units because they were building them, or like completing them. So I had to put 10% to reserve it. And if I did not come up with the money, I would not get 10% back. It was non-refundable deposit. And then I thought I was going to get put another 10% down and get a loan for 80%. And then all the loans were gone, basically. So it's funny too. This 2008 is my best year ever online. So first of all, what happened is I won a lot more money that year, which helped. But I then basically, I was able to get a loan. So it was 2 separate units.
This is stupid from a financial standpoint of view, because you don't want to put everything in one thing, because if something goes wrong with it, you are screwed. And you also don't want to do it on credit necessarily. So yeah, many mistakes combined. By the way, if you want to avoid financial mistakes, consider checking out my other channel too. It's called Finance with Axel. I talk about investing, cryptocurrency, and money-related topics. And yeah, if you are also into that, I highly recommend to check this second channel of mine out too. So let's get back to the video now. I need to click.
So I was able to get a loan on one of the units, but not the other. And it was still smaller. And then I actually got a loan at the same terms from my dad.
He might also have made another mistake, because he could have bought at the absolute top, and then prices were declining for some period, but they already rebounded back. But yeah, he bought at the local top, and then it goes down, and now it's worth way more again, I guess.
On the other unit. And I ended up putting, I think, 60% down instead of 20% down, or maybe more. But even without my dad's help, it would have been 80%. Even putting 60% down was so much of my poker bankroll that it really kind of hamstrung me.
Oh, but this is sick. In 2008, he had already 60% he put down. So he had 1.8 million or something. And he also had something left. So he probably had a bankroll of at least 2 million at this point already.
For a while my being able to play all the games that I wanted to play with as large a percentage of myself as I wanted to have. And it was definitely financially irresponsible. The way I view
definitely irresponsible.
All kind of extravagant purchases is you can't just view it. It's not just purely objective thing that anybody can view. Oh,
by the way, I also was very irresponsible. I mean, not irresponsible in a way that I bought a big thing without diversifying. I just didn't use the money properly for a lot of time. I was just being focused on poker or casino stuff, and I just simply did not invest my money properly, and it was just money losing value every year as inflation and stuff goes down, and I could have made 8% or whatever it was on average in the stock market instead. So this was also very stupid. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad, as inflation back then was very low, but now it's obviously very bad to not do anything with your money, because you lose 10% a year. And yeah, I also changed that. So most of my money is now invested, and I don't have huge cash amounts laying around anymore.
That's not worth it. That's worth it because it depends on your situation. But basically, I was not wealthy enough to have justify that expense for that. I didn't need.
Yeah, at least he wasn't stupid enough to buy a Lambo or something. He at least got something that is keeping its value or even going up.
That nice of a place to live. And, if I was 5 times richer, then sure, then it wouldn't be as much of a reach to get a place that nice, but I wasn't. So I think that was a mistake. I was very thankful to my dad for helping make it not quite as painful and damaging in the moment. And he actually he was willing to do it, but he told me that he wanted me to keep. He wanted me to have a bank account that he could see that would have a year's worth of payments at all times in it, because he was always Phil, just put 10% into like a mutual fund or something. He always wanted me to be more careful. And I didn't usually listen. But to that,
Mutual fund, also very big mistake. Don't do that. I mean, I feel like this is for my second channel, but yeah, mutual funds usually have very high fees, and it's not good because they don't outperform the market. I mean, at least all mutual fund managers together don't outperform the market, but you have fees like of 1 or 2%. You could just buy the market instead with an ETF with fees of like 0.1, 0.2%. And yeah, over the years, this compounds very heavily if you just save these 2% every year. I mean, the graph goes way more up later, especially with compounding interest. Okay, continuing.
I listened, and like I said, I could have technically done it, but it would have been even more crippling to my poker career at the time. So I could talk about one that I want to get that I haven't. So I was at the dentist recently. I kind of fail to go to the dentist as often as I should. Basically, they're like, you need to get Invisalign because eventually your bottom teeth are gonna eventually they're gonna fall out because they're just gonna keep separating. And so I've had Invisalign twice, and I both times didn't wear it. So first I got braces when I was 12, 13. I wore them.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, I had braces as well, so this is nothing funny. I mean, at least I managed to wear it at nights, but I think I was supposed to wear it all the time, but still it worked out okay-ish for me. And that's not a stupid investment to invest in your healthcare and your teeth.
But then I didn't wear the retainer. And so then like in my late
I mean, it's stupid to pay for it and then don't wear it. That's definitely stupid.
teens, I needed them again. It was so annoying. And I really, really dislike wearing them. And you have to clean them so much because they get gross.
It's also very annoying if you are an adult and have to wear them. I guess it was between I was 12, 11 and up to 18, I guess I had these. But yeah, it's still annoying if I just see it for adults. And also my parents paid for it, so I didn't had to bring up the money.
Gross, and you have to like take them out when you eat, and then you forget them places. So I really didn't like it. I know a lot of people wear them with no problem. I guess I'm a baby, but I really didn't like it, and I just didn't wear them. And then again, in like my early 20s, I got them. Also didn't wear them. And I know that I'm older now and a little bit more responsible, and I probably would wear them, I think. But the thing is, you have to get them and wear them for whatever. It'll be like, I don't know, a year. But then you just have to wear a retainer every night forever. And that's
Forever.
As well. And like eventually I might stop doing that.
This sounds like complete horse shit. Okay, then I probably wouldn't do it. I mean, for me it was always like, okay, do it for a certain amount of time, let's say 3 years or something, and then it was good. Maybe the dentists in Canada or wherever he's living are shit. Or go to Germany to get your teeth fixed.
And then it's all for naught. And I was thinking through, like, okay, first of all, they're not super cheap. You spend money on these. There's physical discomfort for, we'll call it, X percentage of 9 months during that. So this is where I justify costs. So I'm like, so there's the discomfort for X percentage of time. During some of that, I'm going to be playing poker. It's probably going to decrease my hourly rate because I'm going to be in physical pain and emotional distress. So I'm going to play worse. I'm going to lose money playing worse. And then, yeah, forever I have to wear them. And there's probably going to, I'll get worse sleep, which is going to affect my ability to play poker and to work. And so it's
okay, we got it. Just let your teeth go to shit. Next point.
actually going to cost a ton of money. And so I'm wondering so I've had a couple of friends.
Maybe he should get a second opinion or go somewhere else and maybe there's different doctors who can recommend better things, basically. I mean, for me, it was just a limited time period, and then it was okay.
Who have gotten veneers, which are super expensive.
Braces,
but
not sharp,
I'm
right?
wondering if I do that, then I probably wouldn't need braces, I think, because they just like
autofocus sucks, but now it seems okay.
Shave your teeth off and then put caps on them, and they probably
fit together. He already had veneers. His teeth sort of look a bit like it.
And I think then I would never need braces and never.
I think all the actors also have it, and it looks a bit artificial.
Need to wear a retainer every night, and so that's something that I want to propose to my dentist, but I haven't yet. But I think that's a very well justified expense, and I think it will save me money in the long run. Because also, who knows how many times I would need to get Invisalign given my track record. So this doesn't quite fit, but I just I recently noticed, well, basically like a lesson that I don't want to teach Spencer, my son. So this was like a year ago now. We had an old iPad that we gave him to play with. He was playing, like, watch it. Like, I mean, obviously it's whatever. It's not fantastic for them overall, but he was doing some educational things, watching some great videos anyways, and giving us a break. So we liked it. He liked it. We didn't have a case on it, and obviously he broke it. So screen cracked, it was ruined. I was like, well, we need to have, so we just got a new one, and we bought a case to go with it. And then, you know, with Amazon, it's right there. So like a day later, he has a new iPad in a case. Basically, like, then over the course of a couple of months, like, there were times where I would tell him to be careful with something because I don't want him to break it. And he's just like, oh, we'll just get another one. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't mean to teach you that. And I don't really know how to unteach you that. So that's something that I'm still
accidental bad life lesson.
Still actively working on figuring out how to unteach him that you know, you don't have to be careful with things because you can just get a new one.
Yeah, that's how rich people deal with stuff like that. Just don't be careful. You can just get a new one. I
guess on the whole, I'm not too embarrassed by that list, but slightly. But that's my list of extravagant purchases and some lessons learned in the process. Perhaps I learned some lessons so you don't have to, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to me being silly.
Yeah, this was funny, as already said. Yeah, this was. Let me know if you like content like these. Let me think of my most silly thing I bought with poker or gambling money. I think the most crazy or stupid thing I already mentioned, that I was just keeping all the money or a lot of money in cash and was not getting yield on it. And other than that, I didn't bought any stupid things I could remember of. I mean, I bought a very expensive trading card, but actually this turned out to be a good investment because now it's worth like double the money I paid for it. So yeah, I guess this is more like an investment and not a stupid thing, although some people might say it is. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Check out my other channel. Do all the healthy, good YouTube things, like, subscribe, share. Yeah, until next time. Bye-bye.